All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating word to help level up your vocabulary. We're breaking down the word envious. You know, language is literally a superpower. Finding the exact right word at the exact right time, it totally changes the game for how we communicate. It lets us process these messy, complicated feelings and actually share them clearly with the people around us. So we're going to unpack this word, figure out its roots, and show you exactly how to drop it into your everyday conversations.
But before we get totally bogged down in dictionary definitions, let's just talk about real life for a second. Have you ever really, truly wanted something that someone else has? I mean, we've all been there, right? It's just a wildly universal part of being human. Maybe your coworker just got this massive promotion, and suddenly you're second-guessing your own career path. Or a friend buys this gorgeous new house, and suddenly your perfectly fine apartment feels, well, kind of tiny. That highly relatable nagging feeling of wanting what someone else has got, that perfectly sets the stage for being envious. It's a completely natural reaction. So today, we're going to drag that feeling out of the shadows, give it a proper name, and figure out exactly how it ticks. So let's look at the actual nuts and bolts of the word. It breaks down into 3 crisp syllables, envious. Go ahead and say it out loud with me right now. Envious. It's got this almost percussive rhythm to it, doesn't it? Getting a feel for how a word sounds is honestly step 1 in making it your own. And here's a cool little linguistic trick. Notice how the base word envy gets matched up with that OUS suffix? That's a huge clue in English because that suffix basically means full of. So quite literally, to be envious is to be absolutely full of envy. When you break it down like a giant puzzle like that, you aren't just memorizing it anymore. You're actually understanding its DNA.
At its core, envious is an adjective. It's a descriptive word. And the definition is super straightforward but really powerful, showing or feeling envy. The key here is the 2 different ways it plays out. You can feel it internally, right? That quiet, kind of uncomfortable knot in your stomach when you see someone else winning, which is just a totally private thought. Or you can show it externally. Think about a longing stare, or maybe your tone of voice gets just a little bit clipped when you're congratulating a friend. Since it's an adjective, it modifies a noun, meaning you can use it to describe a person, like an envious rival, or an action, like an envious glance. It covers the whole shebang, from the inside out.
Okay, let's put this into a real-world scenario. Imagine saying this to someone, I have to admit that I am envious of my sister's talent. Oof, right? Picturing a situation like that, finally acknowledging his sibling's crazy artistic skills or athletic ability, it suddenly gives this abstract definition some serious emotional weight. It pulls the word right out of the textbook and drops it right into our actual relationships. And notice the phrasing there, I have to admit. That vulnerability is absolutely crucial. Being envious is often this secret, slightly shameful feeling that we usually try to hide. But tying the word to a vivid emotional moment like this makes it stick in your brain for good. You have to name it to tame it, right? Now, if you really want to be a vocabulary master, you gotta know when not to use a word. Setting up those boundaries is what separates good communication from great communication. So, green light, absolutely use envious when you are specifically feeling that direct desire for what someone else has. But if the situation doesn't involve that specific pang of wanting, red light, it's definitely the wrong word. Like if you're just over the moon happy for a friend's success with 0 personal longing, that's joy. Or if you're looking at a stunning painting in a museum but you don't actually want to steal it and hang it in your living room, that's just admiration. Keeping envious locked in for only those moments of true envy keeps your words razor sharp. Let's expand our toolkit a bit and see who envious hangs out with. Building out a word family gives you so much more flexibility. If you're looking to mix things up, you can swap in synonyms like covetous or jealous. Covetous is a great one. It's got this heavier, almost intense craving for a specific thing. Jealous is obviously a classic that we use all the time. But you're not just stuck with the adjective form either. You can flip it into an adverb, like enviously, to describe an action. Like, he looked enviously at the sports car. Or you can talk about the big picture concept using the noun form, enviousness. Her enviousness totally clouded her judgment. Having these variations in your back pocket lets you hit the nail on the head every single time. So, to bring it all home, remember our core meaning, showing or feeling envy. And honestly, the absolute best way to make this stick is active practice. So here is my challenge for you. Who or what can you describe as envious today? Seriously, try to write down just 1 sentence today using our featured word. And if you're feeling ambitious and want to lock this in permanently, try the bonus round. Throw in one of those synonyms we just talked about, like covetous or jealous, and pair it with an antonym, the total opposite, like content or satisfied. Getting comfortable with a word like envious lets us map out the really complicated corners of the human heart.
And I'll leave you with this to chew on. Why is it that putting a precise, accurate name to our most difficult feelings actually gives us so much power over them? Think about that for a bit and keep expanding your world through words.